5, 4, 3, 1, 3, 1. Welcome to the Mixdown. Geez, that got confusing.
What's up, fam?
Hey, fam. Hey, guys.
Welcome to the Mixdown, the show where Adam and I answer all of life's curiosities and mysteries because we know everything and we're always right. Don't you dare question that. Or do. Each week we will spoon feed you a 3-course meal of discussions that will tantalize your palate and hopefully keep you coming back for more.
Oh, it will. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. We got really short chairs today. We got a really tall table and really short chairs. Like I know what it feels like to be Danny DeVito.
That guy's got to he's had a hard life. Maybe
He's
not.
had a short one.
He's had a short life. Even if he lives to be 100,
The short
he's
life.
still gonna have a short life.
Poor guy.
Danny.
Probably a great guy.
I'd like to meet him. I'd like to throw him. You ever seen those midget tossing competitions?
Midget toss him. We want to toss you, Danny DeVito.
I wonder how tall he is. I wonder if he's legally.
You can't say that word.
I can't say that word.
No, short people. He is. I'm gonna go with 4'11".
Yeah, I think he's under 5 foot. He's got to be. Loved him in Matilda though.
Gosh, I love that Matilda. I liked him when he was the Penguin.
Oh,
Batman.
I'll be honest with you.
I didn't. That was awful.
I've never seen that Batman before.
It's really terrible.
Okay, I won't watch it.
I think it's got the one. I think that's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, the Sub-Zero guy.
It is so dumb.
Yeah.
Whoever made that Batman movie almost ruined Batman.
Gosh dang it! What's your favorite Batman movie?
Jeez. The Dark Knight is really good.
That's my hands down.
Yeah.
The whole series, I think.
I was a Jim Carrey fan too, though, before he turned into a sideshow. And then he probably was always a sideshow, I guess. But so Batman Forever was really good when Jim Carrey was the Riddler.
Oh, yeah. I watched the one where Jack Nicholson was the Joker.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one too.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
He seems like pretty creepy anyways.
He's pretty creepy. He's definitely creepy.
Hey, what's your favorite Batman movie?
Family?
Music Room Nation?
Family.
Fan? Tell us. Or don't.
Or don't talk. We don't care.
Here's our appetizer for today. This one...
This table is really
pretty
tall.
Funny. It is. I was thinking about you. You're 6'6". I just thought you could just...
This is probably normal.
Probably is.
Okay.
This is called Extra Sweet.
Extra sweet.
Man gets really stoned after drinking McDonald's sweet tea.
All right.
This happened in Hilton Head, South Carolina. It says, a South Carolina man who went to McDonald's for a sweet tea says he received a little extra herbal substance on the side.
Nice.
The Island Packet reports Parrish Brown. Parrish Brown? He's like a, what is he? I don't
know.
That's a clergy term. Parish. Is that Lutheran? Anyways, maybe that's just his name, but it sure sounds like a pastor or something.
That could be a name.
The Island Packet. Well, let's assume he's a pastor.
Yeah,
that's
that'd be way
fun.
better.
The Island Packet reports Parrish Brown went to a McDonald's on Hilton Head Island and asked for a sweet tea with light ice and extra lemon. Brown now believes extra lemon was code for marijuana since he found 3 bags of weed in his cup. He says he only realized it once he was high as a kite. Brown says he's never had marijuana, so he didn't recognize the taste. He says he paid regular price for the items. Beaufort County Sheriff's Office spokesman Major Bob Bromage says that the investigation is ongoing. He didn't specify which McDonald's Brown had gone to. McDonald's didn't immediately respond to a request for comment.
Oh my gosh.
So I hope there's people just going through the drive-thru every day.
Extra lemon.
Extra lemon, please.
Extra lemon.
You got it.
Extra lemon. I've heard of that stuff before.
These people love lemons.
Going through drive-thrus and asking for, a code word, and then they slipping you some cocaine on your
cheeseburger.
on your pancakes or something.
Yeah, cocaine pancakes.
Yeah, just order them.
Isn't that a Jack Johnson
So
song?
I have cocaine pancakes.
Making cocaine pancakes, pretend like it's the weekend now. Yeah.
I think it's called cocaine pancakes. Should have been.
There was in Cody, Wyoming. Shout out to Cody, Wyoming.
Woo!
I love Cody, Wyoming. But there used to be this KFC Taco Bell fusion. You ever seen one of those where they're like both?
Together.
Yeah. First of all, I never understood that.
KFC and Taco Bell were fused?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was weird. But dude, that thing was a meth front.
Nice.
The only reason I know is because maybe I shouldn't say why I know. It's not incriminating, but I shouldn't speak of this because
Rewind.
let's just say somebody I know has insider information from a law enforcement standpoint.
Nice. Could be anybody.
It could be anybody. Anyways, it was well known that place was a meth front, and kind of the same thing. You go through the drive-thru, you get yourself something, an extra little treat,
That's odd.
a little white, some of that good, as they say.
Sprinkle some powder on my hamburger.
You get some of that good. You got something on your pop filter?
I do. Caleb's over here talking about cocaine on hamburgers, and I'm looking at this pop filter, which is the little screen in front of your microphone. It is covered in
Cocaine?
spit, I think.
Jeez.
People's slobber.
Did we use that yesterday? Mm-hmm. Oh, sick.
Well, it could have been before then. It's like on there, though.
Oh.
Ugh!
Oh. Oh, jeez. It is.
Oh!
All right.
I'm going to smell it. It smells like a microphone.
Gutsy. Good job.
Somebody hawked loogies all over my pop filter.
Oh.
That's what it's for. It's supposed
Can
to
you
stop.
wash those?
Yeah, I think you remove them and then put them in a bowl, and then you pour.
Mouthwash?
No, you actually pour gasoline on them and then you just light them on fire.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
and
on.
then they're gone. So
Good deal.
That's nasty. All right.
All right. Well, from cocaine to spit. It's going to be stuck in my head. All right, let's go into our main course of the week. Meaning the music room, sent out a good old-fashioned poll this week, and we wanted to know, do you enjoy when businesses have music playing in their stores? Mm-hmm. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we're going to talk about today, but I asked people to click and vote and then answer why or why not in the comments. Now, only one person must have seen that because they were the only ones who wrote in the comments. However, we had a good response on our poll, so thank you guys for voting. 89% of you guys said, yes, we do like it when businesses play music in their stores, and 11% said no.
Interesting.
The one comment said, fun, upbeat, and old school, I'm assuming like classic rock or something, is the best. When you say, when you walk into a store and say, wow, I haven't heard this in forever, they like that. So
it always interests me that there's a percentage
that says no.
That says no to the obvious things. Like to me, and apparently 89% of the whoever voted.
The whole world.
The whole world voted, and their pets. We believe there should be music in whatever establishment you're in. Mm-hmm. But 11% say no. Say 100 people voted. 11 people are like, nah.
Yeah.
Nope.
I just think about when you're in a restaurant, and if there was no music, you would hear people slurping and slobbering and being sick.
Which would make the murder rate go up.
Yeah, and so you're literally saving lives by playing music in your restaurants. So
it's called economics, behavioral economics. You don't play music in your stores, and murder rate goes up.
So I mean, it just seems like a good idea to me. But yeah, I agree. I don't know why. I think that's a little odd. It's always jarring for me when I go into a place and there's nothing going on.
Let's demonstrate what silence sounds like. So there's that.
Yeah. Did you like that?
I hated it. Most people probably shut it off. We lost half our listeners.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
Sorry, Nancy.
Sorry. She stayed to the end. She knew I'm going to tell some stupid joke at the end. I've been in a few situations where there is not music playing, and it is extremely awkward for everybody in the building, namely because two situations. One was in an insurance office
Yeah.
where people are talking about their insurance needs, which doesn't need to be private, but probably as a professional institution probably should be if I'm going to talk about my liability and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, you're liable for what? Oh, man, did you hear that guy talking?
Jeez.
Yeah. So that was weird, and I suggested that probably be taken care of because I don't want to have a conversation, especially about if you're going to get into financial advising conversations and life insurance, stuff like that. That's the last thing I want to talk about. Well, the guy trying to get auto insurance on his first car is sitting out in the lobby picking boogers and flicking them all over the place. He doesn't need to hear about my insurance needs, right?
Definitely
that was a weird
not.
one. The other one was weird. I was at a teller line at a bank. Maybe I've never paid attention in a bank. Do they play music? I think they do.
Yes, they actually do. All the banks that I've been to, they do.
So this one was not.
It didn't.
Not
play
only was
music
there
on?
not music on, but there was a couple behind me at the table when I walked in, at the desk, when I walked into the bank, having a conversation with the lady who works at the front of the bank. She's like an account representative or something.
Yeah, when you first walk in.
Yeah, and she was having a conversation with a married couple about some mistakes that had been made on a bank statement, and it was a high emotional conversation. They were on the line they were on a phone with some third party, I don't know who it was, trying to figure out and dispute these transactions, and the amounts of money they were talking about were being tossed around. And
Jeez.
I'm standing in the teller line, 20 feet away,
Yeah.
like trying to I can't hear you. I don't know what you're talking about. What about 300 grand? Where did you misplace that? How can I help? Or whatever. And then that was odd. And at that same place, she'll remain nameless. I was able to. The people at the drive-through, because there's no music, they're talking into a microphone outside, and the noise comes through a little speaker, so the lady at the microphone or at the drive-through line can hear them.
Yeah.
Well, so I got the lady behind me saying, "Oh yeah, we had 300,000 in this account. Now it looks like part of it moved over there, and then they pulled out of there." And I'm like, "Okay, I got to ignore that conversation. That has nothing to do with my life." And then at the drive-through, got somebody out there going, "Can I see if I got $4 in my account? I'm trying to get a bottle of booze for the week or whatever." So it's like I don't want to hear any of this.
Yeah.
I am just trying to give my deposit to you.
Right.
And if there just would have been some white noise, I wouldn't know all that information.
Especially in a small town,
Gosh.
you see those people all walking down the street. You're like, oh, you're the guy who has $4. Yeah,
handing him some money.
Here's $5. Go buy yourself something nice.
Sorry.
I know. I've experienced that too. It's really, really strange. And first of all, let me just say, why the heck do they have those people in the bank? Why don't they have their own offices?
That was weird.
I think that's weird. That's how it is at my bank too, where you walk in there and there's the people who are helping you with that kind of stuff. They're just sitting. There's 3 of them sitting out there in the open air. And it's like,
it's weird.
I don't want to discuss this stuff with you right here.
Right. Yeah. Well,
weird.
the reason all my accounts keep getting declined, and I need to close this, and I'm bankrupt. Those conversations happen out in the middle of that.
I know.
I've been in line at another bank where there's somebody who has a major issue with something the bank did, and they're standing there talking to whoever's at the front in the lobby.
Yeah.
I'm trying to suck on a dum-dum and pretend I can't hear it.
Aren't you embarrassed about that? Or not even embarrassed, but do you have no sense of privacy?
I don't know.
Maybe people just don't. No.
Oh, people do.
Well, some
Which
people
is
do.
well, just that's a weird thing. play music for crying out loud. The other odd place I've been that sometimes doesn't play music, not one in particular, but I've been in several restaurants where they either forget to turn it on,
Yeah.
and you're you're at a table, eating with your family, talking about whatever, and your kids or I have kids, so my kids are being kind of loud and chatty and talking about farting and all kinds of stuff that the kids do, and like you gotta be. I finally realized it. Like, you gotta be quiet because everybody can hear us because there's no music on. I can't. Nobody. And the whole time you can hear. Yeah, stop talking about farts at the dinner table. So you got the people behind you talking about whatever, and people at lunch are having intimate conversations all the time about life, and they're talking about. They're at lunch with their friend, and they're talking about how much they hate their husband or whatever, and you're just like, well. Maybe we should just put on some Bon Jovi, cover this up a little bit.
Yeah, that's weird. Have you ever been in an elevator that doesn't have music? That's awkward.
Ooh, with other people.
Yeah.
So what do you do then?
I try to hold my breath. So I always think when it's something that's so quiet like that, I usually hold my breath because I'm so aware of my breathing, like the noise that my breathing makes, and I'm like, geez, do these people think I'm like have emphysema or something?
That's what it sounds like on an elevator with no music.
But if you have music on, then you can be like, okay,
I can breathe.
I can breathe a little easier now.
You see, if you don't have music on, the murder rate goes up because we can hear everybody smacking, and the death rate goes up, just natural causes because people are holding their breath in elevators.
Yeah, and they pass out, and you open up the elevators, and people are laying on the floor passed out.
They're
what
in
the
there.
Heck?
If you see somebody passed out on an elevator, it's probably because there wasn't good music in there.
Probably.
Or any. What are other awkward places? And then we can talk about two places I appreciate that actually have music, and more importantly, people who have live music. But
yeah. Well, we sent out a tip of the day Tuesday, I believe, last week.
Yeah.
That talked about setting your environment with your music according to what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it can be also really jarring when you go into a coffee shop, for example. I haven't experienced this, but I'm sure there's some out there where you're trying to foster a pretty chill vibe, and then you got some weird indie or punk rock heavy super crazy thing going on.
Trying to sip on your coffee and read a book or something.
And Static X is screaming in your face.
Push it. You push it. You push it.
I wouldn't mind that, but I'm sure some people do.
Yeah, it definitely's got to match appropriately. There's been some other awkward ones there too, where you're in a place that is playing music that isn't appropriate for their setting.
Like when you go to your kid's daycare and Slipknot's playing.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Slipknot, kids headbanging. Gosh, I'll think of an example of that, but
I gave some suggestions for people like if you run a small business, you really have the choice of what you play usually.
Mm-hmm.
And so, coffee shop style, if you run a coffee shop, people like Jack Johnson, that kind of chill vibe, that's perfect.
That's why there's a Sirius XM station called Cafe.
Yeah. And they've curated it for you.
Yeah, they've done the hard work.
So, I don't know, play it or try it.
Right.
We like to switch it up and just play all kinds of music because I think, which caters to what we do because we teach kids and people that they need to have an appreciation for all styles of music.
Yep.
So I think we demonstrate that in what we play.
Yeah, you should. And gosh, top 40 isn't necessarily it.
Yeah, I think it rarely is.
People actually appreciate whoever commented on our thing, going in and hearing music that, if you hear a Brown Eyed Girl or something playing in a restaurant when you're sitting there, that's the kind of stuff you're like, oh yeah,
I love that song.
I like this song. Of course, I just hate top 40, so maybe I'm slightly biased, but just playing the popular radio station, which brings another thing to the equation. Playing the popular radio station, I don't like that either, because then you're just hearing the same music all day, and your staff will go insane.
Oh gosh.
Which I have another story for.
Yeah,
But let me forget the staff one, since
Okay.
you have one too. But before that, don't play a radio station, because that's my suggestion. If you pick one. There's a couple around here I don't particularly care for, and other ones I think are better. But they're all agenda driven. All the radio stations have an agenda, politically, usually. They're on one side or the other, and you've immediately divided your listening audience, whoever's in your building, if all you do is play a radio station where the disc jockeys are constantly crude and always pushing an agenda of some kind.
Yeah.
And you've got, instead of music playing, then you've got people talking, doing something stupid in between. And people don't like to hear that. Makes them uncomfortable in public. I hate when I'm in a business and the disc jockeys are on in between songs talking about God knows what.
Yeah, just giving social commentary on.
Yeah, it's like, okay. And sometimes, there's some of the stations around here, anymore, all over the place, they're just extremely inappropriate.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how is this on the radio?
Yeah, you know what's weird about that is, I think the laws have gotten so lax, because when I was in college, the FCC is the one who regulates all that stuff. But, when I was in college, if you slipped up and said something on the radio that you shouldn't, they would fine the college $100,000.
Yeah. Done deal.
And so, basically, it would shut down your radio department.
Yeah.
So it's and I don't know.
Not a whole lot of that anymore, apparently.
Yeah. And I think people are moving into podcasts and things like that so that they can be that way.
Yeah.
Because you can say whatever you want.
Heck yeah.
I can say fudge.
Yep.
Right now.
Anytime I feel like it. So to the staff.
Yeah.
If you're a business owner. Oh my gosh, I used to work at a furniture store, and this isn't saying anything bad about them. But I used to work at a furniture store in college, and you just, part of the opening routine is you went and turned on the lights and you went and did whatever, and then you hit play on I don't remember where the music was, but you hit play on it nonetheless, and it was a 10-disc CD changer, and it was all instrumental music you'd expect to hear in a furniture store, I guess, is what they did. So there's no words or anything, which is also probably not a bad idea, play instrumental stuff. But it was the same. It felt like the same 4 songs over and over again. I'm sure it was dozens.
Yeah.
But you'd hear that stupid piano start playing that one stupid song, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been working here too long.
Kill me now.
Shoot me in the face and hide me in one of the couches. So to mix it up, I even have to mix it up here. We're a music business, and I have to mix it up when we're out in the front listening to music. I'm like, gosh, I can't listen to this one more time.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid I'm going to end up hating it, and it's good.
Yeah, I know.
And so, try to mix it up. Why not? What was your staff experience?
Oh, I had a couple. When I worked at a hotel, it was just it was an already curated thing, so it wasn't like a top 40 necessarily, but it was like an acoustic station, and they would just play. I could count, the same song 10 times throughout the whole day. Mm-hmm. I'm like, gosh, there's got to be more than just that. Mm-hmm. And then the other one I think was kind of funny it was a top 40 radio station, but I worked at a thrift store when I was in college. Mm-hmm. And so every time I would go back to the back, literally there was a lady that worked back there, and every time, and I didn't notice this, but she told me, she's like, did you know that every time you walk back here to do something, the same song starts playing? And I was like, what? And then I would notice, I'd be going to take trash out. Literally every time I'd go back there, the same Bruno Mars song would play.
That's awkward.
And I was like, what the heck? It was so weird.
It's theme music. It's trash taking out music.
Yeah, but
maybe you're on the Truman Show and you don't know it.
I could be. But I think that proves that they're just playing Bruno Mars way too freaking much.
Whether I'm on a reality TV show I don't know about or not, stop playing it. Play some other theme music.
So let's talk about events and live music. There was an event that we played live music at last year, and we had asked them, right, if they were going to have live music, and it just wasn't something that they had thought about.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a live event in the park. Live event. It was a non-live event.
Pre-recorded.
More pre-recorded
Come
park party.
Come watch this show about the
I'm
park.
gonna set up a TV on the band shell. You guys can watch what we did yesterday. Have a hamburger. No, they were having an event in the park, and I got invited to it, and it was whatever. And I'm like, what are they doing for music? And my thought was, are you going to set up a PA and at least play a station of some kind?
Right.
Or, a Spotify list or something.
Yeah.
And there was nothing planned.
And nothing planned, right?
And I'm like, and they kind of went, oh, yeah, we didn't really think about that. Like, if you're going to do an event, that should be the first thing that you think of. Well, I know there's other things to think of, but it should be right up there at the top with what's our entertainment going to be, or what's the music going to be for the event. Think about any event you've ever been to in your entire life.
Yeah.
Always music. Always something. There's always background music playing somewhere. So we did. We ended up going and playing live music for it. And I don't know what they would have done. It would have been fine. I mean, it's in the park, so that's maybe a little different. But it's cool when somebody is just sitting there playing live music. People love it.
Yeah, I think people don't think a lot about that anymore, about even asking people to play live. I don't know if I think that it just is not on people's radar a lot of times. And so
I don't know why that is.
I don't either.
What the shift there is culturally, but there's live music here and there, and
well, I think part of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's
you.
all right.
I think part of it could be that people don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, that's a whole new podcast.
Yeah.
Yep, I think that's a large part of it. We get a lot of people ask us to play music, and we say a lot of no's because they assume it's free, and so that's fine. I mean, if you're doing an event and don't have any money and you're just trying to raise funds or something and can't pay somebody, that's fine. But play some music.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't have to be live.
Yeah, play some music on a speaker or rent something, or you got to do something. I think the reason that restaurants and bars and people hire musicians is not because they like music and want other people to hear their music. It really isn't.
Yeah.
If you're a bar owner or a restaurant owner or wherever else plays live music, you're really not interested in promoting that musician. That's not why you hire them. You hire them because it's going to keep people in your business.
Yeah, and bring the families and the fans of that person in.
Bring more people, and people are going to stay longer. That's the reason that music should exist for a business owner. And then it's the band's job to promote themselves and be good, or the musician's job to get it out there and make sure they do a good job. And then, so if you're not able to pay for that, at least play some music. And if you are able to, get live musicians over top of the gosh dang PA system playing a Spotify list of music that everybody's already heard.
Right.
Gosh, we recorded a guy yesterday in here that he played. There was a kid that job shadowed here yesterday with us, and he's 17 years old. And the guy in the studio that was recording, I don't know how old he was, but not 17 and quite a bit older than me. And so he was playing music from the 70s, 60s, 80s. He spanned probably 4 or 5 decades with what he was playing. And the kid behind me goes, I've heard every one of these songs. He thought the dude had written them all. He's like, this guy must be famous. I've heard all of these songs. I'm like, well, he's just recording some covers so he can give people an idea of what he does live. But that guy live would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Entertaining. People would sit around and watch him. It was well rehearsed, and to have that do to your event would be great. Marlon, Mr. Maynard.
Yeah, shard out.
Shard out to Maynard. We got a good little shard out there to you, buddy.
Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind.
That's hilarious.
Shard out. Don't do that.
Don't shard out to your favorite musician.
Shout out to Marlon. To Marlon Maynard. Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to snip that out and post it places. Yeah.
That's the other beauty you get with live musicians is real life mistakes and humor and People engage with that.
Yeah.
People like it.
Yeah, you're not going to find anybody at a bar or wherever you're at, coffee shops saying, wait, hold on, I can't leave. I got to hear this song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just started.
Yeah.
You need to listen to the rest of this Bruno Mars song.
Right. You can pull it up on your own Spotify account, wherever you're at.
Yeah.
I always remember that story you told me about how you guys were playing somewhere sometime, and the guy was like, didn't really want to pay that much, and you're like, we will keep people here. We'll double your drink sales for whatever for this evening, and you did. Mm-hmm. And he was like, whoa.
That was down in Hill City at a bar, and didn't want to do it, and a couple of different places. One of them was for the rally. Mm-hmm. Like, you better have live music. He's like, no. Like,
for the rally?
Yes, you better have live music, or no one will be here. We played like 8 nights in a row at this little bar in Hill City, and there were a lot of people that came back.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't want to go do the big Buffalo Chip concert stuff. They just wanted to have a beer and eat a steak, and there was live music. It stayed there. It was great. If you'd have played a Spotify playlist, nobody would have came back.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Man, last night we were down at the old Shoot Rooster, and they were playing a Spotify list. You should have heard that. That was so entertaining. And I was able to interact with the Spotify machine, and we talked back and forth, and said no one ever. Gosh dang it. Put somebody there with a guitar and let them sing, even if they kind of suck.
Yeah, I think what business owners don't realize sometimes is it's an investment to do that. I mean, like you said, if the musician is worth his weight, worth a darn, he's going to engage with people. He's going to keep people there, also bring people into your business. Mm-hmm. And so it's really a good mutual relationship if you find someone who's worth it.
Yeah. You've got two extremes in this world. I guess there's extremes all over the place, but if you go to somewhere like Nashville where there's a musician on every corner, when you get off the airplane in Nashville, there's a guy standing in the terminal playing music instead of music over the PA. That's because they have an oversupply of musicians, right? And so they put them everywhere. Anywhere a musician can get a gig down there, they're trying to get a gig because they just want to play.
Yeah.
They want to be seen. They want to get their stuff out there. They're trying to rehearse. They're like, okay, if I have to play in freaking Terminal A, I will. Yeah. And like, I just remember getting off the plane in Nashville, and there's a whole band right there. What? And then everything you went into, drugstores, coffee shops, it didn't matter. There was a corner with a stage set up, and there was somebody playing music. Didn't matter. Oversupply. And they knew it was because they could play Spotify, but they're like, live musicians are way better, and there's a whole bunch of them, so let's put them everywhere.
Yep.
And there's a shortage up here, obviously, compared to the amount of places they could be, and so it's kind of the opposite effect. Everywhere you go, it's just very impersonal. Music playing, people staring at their phones, TVs hanging on every wall, and nobody wants to look at each other.
Yeah. Yes, that's sad.
It is sad.
But I think we can change that.
I can change that. I counted TVs. I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I was in a restaurant with my kids a couple of weeks ago, and I counted the TVs in there. There were more TVs at that point. We were there early, like at 4:30. Mm-hmm. So we hit like the happy hour crowd or whatever. But there were more TVs in there than there were people. I think there was 17 or 18 TVs, and there was a couple people at the bar area and a few people in the booths, and everybody was watching a TV. Like, you had your choice. You could watch 2 or 3 TVs if you wanted to.
Sweet.
And then and I think there might have been music playing too. I don't know if it's overstimulating at that point or not, but then, or they pick one of the TVs and play it as loud as they can, and no matter what, you have to watch that show or listen to it in there. Like at Buffalo Wild Wings, if there's a big game on, that's what they put over the speakers, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah.
I like that. But if you shut off the TVs and the music, that's what it would have been. Nothing.
Yeah, that's awkward.
Let's all go out and have dinner together, and then stare at whatever was on. I'm sure it was bowling or something exciting at that point.
Yeah, 4 in the afternoon. Yeah.
Anyway, that doesn't have anything to do with that, but kind of.
Let's see. What else were we going to talk about?
I don't know.
Should music be played in public places? I think we answered that.
I think we really did. I think we covered it.
Yeah, we talked about that. Does it help or hinder? I'd say majority of the time it helps your environment. It helps people feel comfortable where they're at. And I mean, except for those 11% people who are straight up psychopaths or sociopaths.
Must work at the post office.
Is there music in the post office?
I don't think they're allowed to have music in the post office.
Really?
There's none in there. It's one of the buildings I go into in Spearfish all the time where I'm like,
oh yeah, because that's the same thing. I remember going in there and standing in a line, and it carries, the sound carries in there, so you're listening to someone say, I'm trying to send this to my daughter.
trying to get these weed brownies to my cousin in Fort Collins.
Do you have anything that's in there that is
Liquid,
illegal
fragile,
yeah,
perishable. All of it. Poison, too.
Yeah, it's cocaine.
Yeah, it is weird. Like, the other day I was in there. I know one lady was trying to send cookies to her kid, and the other lady was trying to pack clothing in a box to send to somebody, and the box wasn't big enough. And they were in an argument up front about getting a bigger box, and she'd already got this one off the shelf, and they had to pay. I'm like, oh, my gosh, please play music or something. Yeah. And then everybody just stands there and listens to it. Like, we have lost the ability to just say, hey, how are you?
Yeah, that's another thing, too. No one talks to each other.
My gosh.
And I'm just as guilty.
I am.
You are good at that.
I am the most awkward human being on earth at public, like with waitresses and stuff, because I'll engage anybody in a conversation, and it catches people off guard. And a lot of times people like it, and other times they don't want anything to do with it. Like, I'm not embarrassing people. Just like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
What's happening today?
But 30 years ago, that was normal.
Absolutely, it was normal. And
I wouldn't know. I wasn't alive 30 years ago.
It was normal. I was 4, so I was having conversations with adults all the time.
I was -3.
Yeah, that counts. One time, I was about 4 or 5 in public, and I just got to tell a story because it came to my mom. Mom, if you're listening, you would giggle a little bit. I don't know how old I was. I was young, though, and one of my best friend's moms had won some. I thought, when I heard it, apparently at that age, that she had won, like, Miss America.
Oh, yeah?
That she had won, like, a beauty pageant when she was younger.
Uh-huh.
And I heard that somewhere, and whatever. I don't know how things work in little kids' brains. I got 2 of them. I still can't figure it out. But I saw her when I was little. I saw her. It was one of my best friend's moms at 7-Eleven. Those still existed in Wyoming when I was little. And I saw her walking into 7-Eleven, and I said, hey there, sexy lady. And not much has changed since then. I'm still kind of that awkward in public.
What did she say?
I don't know.
Oh, that's funny.
My mom will have to fill in the blanks on that because I don't even remember saying it, but my mom was horrified.
Hey there, sexy lady.
Hey there, sexy lady.
That's hilarious.
She won a beauty contest or something.
That's funny. I got a couple stories like that when I was a kid, but they're a little dicey.
I got one about a fish.
Yeah. I got one about a racial question.
Well, we'll share these offline, and if you are listening to this and want to hear these, you're more than welcome to give us a shout. It's
Yeah.
at 605-717-7529. We'll tell you, because mine is about putting my hands over my face and looking down the hole in a lake. Because if you've ever been ice fishing, you can put your face down in kind of the hole you drill and cover the light, and you can see down into the water. And my dad asked me, what do you suppose those fish are doing down there?
I can only imagine.
And my response was great as a 6-year-old or something.
Oh,
We're talking, oh, boy, that was
all right. Give us
spot on. There's a
call us.
cliffhanger. What's those fish doing down there?
All right, let's move into dessert. This one just grinds my gears a little bit because I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. University accepts peanut butter and jelly as payment for parking tickets.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's awesome. It says anyone with unpaid parking fines at the University of Alaska Anchorage campus has the option to reduce or cover the cost of their tickets with peanut butter and jelly.
Mm-hmm.
What a lip-smacking offer. Anyone with let's see. KTUU TV reported that the university will take donations for their annual payment tradition until November 8th to help combat student hunger. Officials say the food goes to students in need. University officials say each person could use PB&J payments for 2 citations issued within the last 45 days. Officials say that 2 16-ounce jars offer a $10 credit, 3 jars offer a $35 credit, and 5 jars offer a $60 credit. They say unopened, commercially produced nut, butter, almond, cashew, peanut butter, or any flavored jam, jelly, marmalade, or preserves would be accepted.
I love that college. I'm calling them today and telling them I love them. What about Nutella?
Oh, man. They better accept Nutella.
Is it Nutella?
I say Nutella because it's made out of nuts,
Yeah.
not Nutella. But I've heard plenty of people say Nutella.
Maybe made out of newts. You don't know.
It might be-
Should turn me into a newt.
Can you give me a newt?
Can I get You got a bag of newts in here?
Let me just say that I had my fair share of parking tickets on both colleges campuses that I went to, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous
Did they give you parking
that
tickets?
they give you parking tickets because I'm paying $20,000+ to go to your school, more than that,
Yeah.
and
I should get to park
I
on there.
should get to park wherever the heck I want.
I got a bunch of parking tickets at the last college I was at, which
Yeah.
is really close to the town that I live in.
Yeah,
I live in Belfouche. And I never paid any of them.
good.
I don't know if there's a warrant out for my arrest. I still won't pay them. Kiss my butt.
Seriously, why? If you're running late, if we had a bunch of kids that came from Rapid to go to school, and they couldn't park in the whatever.
That's dumb.
That's stupid.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
So, anyways, clean up your act, colleges. Let people pay with peanut butter and jelly.
let them pay. And you can pay here, too. We'll give you a credit at the music room if you bring us peanut butter and jelly. We're not sure what kind of credit or for what, but we'll do it. Bring by your peanut butter and jelly. We'll see you soon.